Reptiles, or rather reptilian monsters, have been featured on the silver screen for quite some time now, ranging from small, creepy garden crawlers to giant monsters that could stomp and destroy entire cities. These cold-blooded monsters have been known to thrill and sometimes even terrorize audiences far and wide. Sure, croc snakes and their cold-blooded brethren are somewhat sluggish, but that hasn't stopped plenty of filmmakers from trying to make them scary and huge. So on that note, welcome back to Factaholic, and today we bring you the top 10 largest ever reptiles in movies. So, let's begin. Number 10. Lizzie, Rampage, 200 to 225 feet. So the first colossal reptilian monster comes straight out of the 2018 giant monster film starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson himself, Rampage. Enter Lizzie, who is an enormous crocodile kaiju. Also, in addition to her massive size, Lizzie even had two large tusks on either side of her head, right above her mouth, and two smaller tusks on the either side of her lower jaw. We also saw her sporting a pair of frills flanking her face that covered her gills. Apart from that, she even had countless large spikes on her back and a spiked club at the end of her tail. A proper kaiju in every sense, who weighed in at a massive 150 tons. Number 9. Giant Sea Serpent, King Kong escapes, 280 feet. Imagine the largest boa constrictor you've ever seen, but only hundreds of times larger than its actual size. That's basically what the giant sea serpent of Mondo Island is. Or is it? Well, not really. I mean, it's a sea serpent kaiju, so it's easily so much more than just a colossal snake. It's a true monster of the seas who even had no issues confronting King Kong. But then Kong is definitely on another level, so he defeated the poor snake. Also, there's this inferiority complex that most filmmakers have, and they usually tend to make serpentine creatures seem weaker than the rest, which is definitely not cool. Number 8. Mythical Serpents, Gods of Egypt, 470 feet. Now, if you ever watched Gods of Egypt, then you most definitely have seen these mythical serpents. They appeared to be like cobras, although they were much, much larger, with one snake appearing to have black scales, while the other appears white-scaled. Still, not much is known about these snakes, given that they had very little screen time, but it was certainly more than enough to get audiences fascinated because they were simply gigantic and badass. Also, it wasn't simply their size and ferocity that caught people's attention, but also the fact that it had a roar as terrifying as its appearance. Number 7. Manda, Millennium, Godzilla Final Wars, 984 feet. Oh yeah, we have the giant sea dragon kaiju Manda taking the 7th spot, particularly the Millennium incarnation, which was simply massive. Roughly resembling an Eastern dragon, the guardian deity of Mu, as he's called, has an elongated thin body with 4 legs. He's a proper sea dragon and is in fact a kaiju with great potential. But then Toho never gave him the stage that he really deserved, and it's kinda sad that we always saw him as a lesser kaiju in movies. Although I have some hopes of seeing this trend change in the Monsterverse. So who's with me backing Team Manda? Go hit that like button already, because the large target for today is again 2021, for obvious reasons of course. Number 6. Shriekan Aragon, 985 feet. Give it up for Shriekan, a black dragon, or rather a black male dragon of titanic size. Although sadly he was forcibly bonded to the Mad King Galbatorix, and he was also the only dragon other than Glader to survive the fall of the Dragon Riders to modern times. I mean, he's easily even larger than Glader in size, with spikes on his back as thick as ancient oak tree trunks, which is simply insane. Number 5. Godzilla Earth, Godzilla Anime Trilogy, 1,043.31 feet. The Avatar of Destruction, Godzilla Earth, is the largest incarnation of Papa Goji so far, and boy oh boy, he's friggin' huge. How huge, you might ask? Well, almost as tall as the actual Eiffel Tower. Pretty darn impressive. I mean, the first time I watched that anime film, I was blown away by the sheer size of this monstrosity. Moreover, if its sheer size wasn't enough, this god of destruction could even spawn a smaller, nearly identical, cell-divided clone of itself called Godzilla Phileas. And his abilities were as devastating as that crazy-sized figure as well. Yet, he's only 5th in this list. Number 4. Emojis, D-War, 1,250 feet. Yes, we have both the emojis from Dragon Wars taking the 4th spot, and deservingly so. I mean, they're simply behemoths. Although only one is good and the other, obviously, evil. The good one is typically a protector, but we didn't see him being mentioned by any special name. But the bad one, or rather the dark emoji, was called Baraki, and he basically wanted to become the new celestial dragon so that he could destroy both Earth and Heaven and rebuild them in his own images. Number 3. Lion Turtle, Avatar Animated Series, 6,562 feet. Behold the lion turtle. This turtle is actually the largest known animal in the world of Avatar. We got to know that in the era of Rava, lion turtles populated the spirit wilds, where they served as protectors of mankind by housing human cities on their backs. Yes, entire cities. Actual ones, too. After all, the lion turtle is actually about the size of a small city for that matter. As a matter of fact, lion turtles are so massive that their heart itself can weigh over 120 tons. Man, talk about gigantic. Although that's not it. What's more is that the lion turtles can actually even survive for centuries if unharmed, and even reach the size of a small island, developing hard shells that eventually grow plant life that can sustain several species of animals. Number 2. Genbu, Naruto Shippuden, 32,808 feet. We actually have another turtle taking the 2nd spot, although it's entirely a class apart as compared to the previous one. Genbu, as it's called, and more commonly known as the island turtle, is an actual island turtle. Being gigantic and ancient, this turtle usually resides in the land of lightning. You see, Genbu is described as being a moving fortress whose size is so great that it can host other large animals as well as other natural and man-made structures. It can basically carry a whole ecosystem and belongs to a class of supergiant monsters that we previously covered as well. So if you want to check it out, I'll leave a card on top. But then let's first find out which is the largest reptile to have ever appeared in the movies. And this next one is so massive that we actually have to change from feet to light years in terms. Number 1. Super Shenron, Dragon Ball Super, 40 million light years. Super Shenron, the largest ever fictional dragon and one of the largest creatures in existence as well, takes the top spot as the largest reptile to have ever appeared in movies. I mean, it basically crushes the competition, and that too at astronomical levels, because it's simply in a league of its own. I mean, it's even larger than the observable universe, which is simply bonkers. All cheers to the Dragon Ball franchise for giving the world the Super Dragon God. And remember the name, it's Super Shenron, my friends. Although Super Shenlong wouldn't be wrong either. And with that, we wrap our list of the largest reptiles in movies. Now, I do know that some of you may have expected Void Ghidorah somewhere up there too, but even the official description says that he's an extra-dimensional energy being. So there's that. But it's open for debate. Anyways, that was all for this video. We hope that you enjoyed it thoroughly. Thanks for watching. Now, if you want to keep watching more videos like these, then don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and smash the bell icon too while you're at it. This is Factaholic. I'm your host, Scott Leffler, signing off for now. Peace.